Welcome back, football fans. The 2025-26 UEFA Champions League is officially here, and PSG are facing a brutal test in the league phase. From showdowns with Bayern Munich and Barcelona, to tricky clashes against Tottenham, Newcastle, Bilbao, Leverkusen, Atalanta, and Sporting Lisbon, it's going to be a season full of drama. We'll break down PSG's hopes, Barcelona's injury concerns with Gavi, the potential return of Doué, and how Barca's young star Dro Fernandez has caught the eye of Europe's elite, including Manchester United. Plus, updates on Eric Garcia's new contract, Barca's best 11 after the summer transfer window, and what it all means for their push for dominance. Let's dive straight into it. The 2025-26 UEFA Champions League phase is set, and PSG face a daunting path. After a slow start in last season's league phase, the French champions are eager to make a strong opening. Matches against Bayern Munich and Barcelona promise high-stakes clashes, while a showdown with Tottenham Hotspur will be a quick rematch of their intense UEFA Super Cup encounter just weeks ago. Newcastle United and Athletic Bilbao provide stiff competition, and Bayer Leverkusen, Atalanta and Portuguese champions Sporting Lisbon all stand in PSG's way on the road to the knockout stage. Could PSG get an offensive boost against Barcelona? Le Parisien reports that Doué could make his return to the team for the trip to Barcelona. Despite suffering an injury during the international break, it appears that Doué might only miss one Champions League game. Moreover, Barcelona will be focused on preparing one key player for their upcoming PSG clash. According to Diario AS Javi Miguel, Gavi is sidelined for the September 14th match against Valencia due to persistent discomfort in his right knee, which he had surgery on just under 2 years ago. The report adds that Gavi is unlikely to play in Barcelona's Champions League opener against Newcastle United on September 18th. As a result, Miguel notes that the more realistic goal is to have him fit. We are seeing how Manchester United are jumping in on the recent trend of signing young players and developing them through the corridors within the training ground. And the Premier League heavyweights are looking for players who could go on and have a massive impact on the first team in the long run. So the mindset behind this is to keep pushing for marquee players in the first team but then also have some fiddles around the senior side who are young and boast a lot of potential. This way you continue to push for silverware but also ensure that there are players who know the culture of the club in and out once they step into their potential. Premier League interest in Fernandez. To aid such reinforcements at M16, United have recognized Barcelona teenager Dro Fernandez. But Ruben Amorim and company will face competition from the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea for his signature. H/T Fishages. The Blues have been eyeing a move for him for some time now, but United have entered the field and are ready to strong-arm their domestic rivals off the field. Manchester City was also named among the parties interested in the teenager. The 2007-born midfielder might end up being overwhelmed if he moves to the Premier League, but this is the kind of stardom they prepare you for at La Masia. But it is not only about off the pitch, it is also about the technical capacity that he can take on as well, and that's exactly what has got other top sides vying for his signature. Now this is exactly the kind of statement Sir Jim Ratcliffe would be looking to make. If Manchester Reds are successful in prying away one of the top talents from Barcelona's famed academy, it will be a statement which announces how Ratcliffe is taking this club in a new direction. This also tells other young players that United are creating a pipeline that can hand them opportunities at an elite level and help the club in future transfers. Barcelona defender Eric Garcia has provided an update on his new contract, while also praising one of the club's most talented teenagers. Garcia's current deal expires next summer, which means he will be eligible to speak with interested clubs from January 1st onwards under the Bosman ruling. Barcelona see the versatile star, who can play as a centre-half or right-back, as a useful player and do not want him to go. It emerged recently that Garcia is set to pen a new 5-year contract with Barca that will end talk about his future. In a wide-ranging interview with Gigantes, via Barça Universal, Garcia was asked about previous interest from Como and his fresh terms at Barca. He replied, "In the summer there was the mess of the transfer market, but hopefully it will be done soon." The 24-year-old was then quizzed about staying at Barca for the long run and potentially being named captain. He said, "In the future, who knows?" On Inigo Martinez's summer move to Al Nassr, Garcia added, "It was a surprise for us. He has the right to decide his future and he deserves it. But we all have to take a step forward, we are prepared, and it is our obligation." The former Manchester City player is more than happy to operate in a variety of roles for Hansi Flick, including right-back. "I felt very good at full-back in the pre-season I played there. I feel very comfortable with Lamine Yamal up front," he said. We try to ensure that the right back is not as offensive as the left back, with Marcus, Rashford and Rafinha able to cut inside. Barca have a host of exciting young players on their books, and Garcia thinks 17-year-old attacking midfielder Dro Fernandez could be the next big thing. Hansi Flick great with youth players, Eric Garcia. The coach gives confidence to the youth players who deserve it, and we give them peace of mind. It's not easy to train with the stars, but they have the talent to be with us. Barca had a fantastic season in 2024-25, winning La Liga, the Copa del Rey and Supercopa de España. The Blaugrana also reached the semi-finals of the Champions League, where they lost 7-6 on aggregate to Inter Milan after 2 enthralling matches. Garcia admitted, "Really tough when Inter won the semi-final, but that has not affected the team's morale. The challenge is the same. We want to win everything again, compete for the Champions League. Even though they know us better, they know how we play, it won't be down to individual or group quality." Barcelona, Ajax target, Real Madrid concern. The summer transfer window is finally over, and there's perhaps no one happier than Barcelona manager Hansi Flick. After incessant talk all summer of Barcelona's economic troubles and their inability to sign and register players, the off-field noise will make way for the actual performance on the pitch. The arrivals of Joan Garcia, Marcus Rashford and Rooney Bargi, plus the painful departure of Inigo Martins and a number of other fringe players, paint the final picture of Barcelona's 2025 summer window. Barca's squad is not too dissimilar to the one that conquered the first domestic treble in club history a season ago, but competition for playing time and significant roles will be fierce. With talent in every area and hopes of continuing to build a new era of Barcelona dominance, here's Sports Illustrated's pick for Barcelona's strongest starting 11 now that the transfer window is over. Barcelona's best 11 after summer transfer window. GK Joan Garcia. The only summer signing to be included in Barca's strongest 11, Joan Garcia is the future of. The former Espanyol goalkeeper had the most saves in La Liga a season ago and saved his side from relegation. At 24 years old, he's maturing into one of the best shot stoppers in the world, showcasing incredible reflexes but also exuding confidence in his ability to make otherworldly saves. With club captain Marc-Andre ter Stegen continuing to battle injuries entering his mid-30s and with Wojciech Szczesny as backup, enjoying life in Barcelona after being retired this time last year, Garcia has already started to prove why the future begins now. Jules Koundé arrived in Barcelona in 2022 as a centre-back, viewed as the replacement for Gerard Piqué. The Frenchman was up and down early in his career with the club, eventually prompting former Barca manager Xavi Hernandez to start experimenting with him as a right back. Then everything changed. Under Flick, Koundé has been deployed exclusively at right back and he's become one of the world's best in the position. He's a ferocious man-marker with underrated speed that allows him to track back and defend in space. On the ball, he's impervious to pressure and he's constantly clarifying possessions from the back line. If he hadn't gotten injured during the tail end of last season, no player would have featured more for Barcelona in Flick's debut term. CB Eric Garcia. Who would have thought Eric Garcia would become a Flick favorite? 2 summers ago, he was sent on loan to Girona after failing to impress in his first 2 seasons after joining from Manchester City. The Catalan native has become Flick's Swiss Army knife, constantly deployed in different positions depending on what the team needs. Right now, following the unexpected departure of Inigo Martínez, Barcelona need a centre-back. Ronald Araujo is perhaps the more obvious choice, but Garcia has vastly outperformed the Uruguayan since the start of last season. Garcia's clarity with the ball is perfectly catered for Barca's playing style and he's also matured into a very well-rounded defender, with his aerial game standing out. Through 3 games this season, Garcia has started every one. That trend should continue moving forward. CB, Pau Cubarsí. The La Masia graduate has an innate understanding of his position rare for his tender age. He's a composed, methodical and shrewd defender that appears to know where the ball is going even before the opponent passes it. Yet, his greatest attribute might be how comfortable he is on the ball, with a gifted passing range that allows him to start attacks from deep. Make no mistake about it, Cubarsí is a penciled-in starter for Barca not only for this season, but perhaps for the next decade. LB, Alejandro Balde. Balde owns the entirety of Barcelona's left flank, running up and down the pitch and looking just as comfortable on either end. He's a modern-day fullback that makes the live of those around him easier. If injuries allow him, there's a high chance 2025-26 is his best season yet. CM Frenkie de Jong. Few players are more scrutinized among Barcelona fans than Frenkie de Jong. The Dutchman started off his career with Barcelona with impressive performances upon arrival in 2019, but then, like the rest of the team, his form dipped in the coming years, prompting many to call for his exit. However, after recovering from an ankle injury and making his debut under Flick, De Jong played his best 6 months as a Barca player to begin 2025. He constantly anchors the midfield and even drops into defense to balance an otherwise very attacking side. He's built a magnificent partnership with Pedri in Flick's midfield pivot, and he's earned his way to becoming a habitual wearer of the captain's armband. If Barcelona were an orchestra, Pedri would be its conductor. Los Blaugranas play to the rhythm Pedri dictates, plain and simple. It's hard to quantify the impact Pedri has on Barcelona, but he's arguably the most important player on the team. He's the first name in the lineup, which was evidenced last season when he led Barca in appearances with 59. He's the best central midfielder in the world, and if you watch him play, he's truly the perfect blend of Xavi and Andrés Iniesta, though he's more reminiscent of the latter. RW, Lamine Yamal. The most talented player to come out of La Masia since Lionel Messi is now the heir to both the Argentine and his iconic number 10 shirt. Lamine Yamal is pure electricity, the most exciting player in the world right now. At just 18 years old, he spent the last 2 seasons embarrassing defenders across La Liga and Europe. There's not much to say that hasn't already been said about Barcelona's starting right winger. Through 3 games this season, he already has 2 goals, as many assists, and leads La Liga with 18 successful dribbles. There's no denying it, he's got the potential to be an all-time great. Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo must reach another level this season. /Amigos/. Dani Olmo gets the nod as Barcelona's attacking midfielder, but he needs to consistently deliver what he's shown only in flashes since he joined the club last summer. When healthy and in form, Olmo offers something no other player can. He's a masterful line breaker, capable of operating in extremely tight spaces beautifully, either to get away from his man, to pick a pass from nowhere, or to unleash a strike. At his best, no player on the team is a better option centrally in the final third to break down a low block, which is how most of Barca's opponents set up. Injuries have always been synonymous with Olmo and have resulted in him never really getting into rhythm with Barcelona. He better hope that changes or Marcus Rashford and, primarily, Fermín López can seriously challenge his place in the lineup. Many wanted Rafinha to leave Barcelona last summer to make room for Nico Williams on the left wing. Then, the Brazilian produced one of the most prolific statistical seasons of any Barcelona player not named Lionel Messi. With 34 goals and 25 assists, plus one of the greatest individual seasons in Champions League history, Rafinha went from being unwanted to a Ballon d'Or favorite. Now, he's also emerged as one of the biggest leaders of this young Barca side. Whether it's on the left wing or with Flick experimenting with him through the middle, Rafinha is an untouchable in the 11. St. Robert Lewandowski. And there you have it, football fans, PSG's Champions League challenge, Barcelona's squad updates, and the latest transfer buzz surrounding La Masia's brightest prospects. With GAVI'S fitness race, Doué's potential return, and Dro Fernandez attracting Premier League giants, the stage is set for an unforgettable season. Do you think PSG can finally dominate Europe this year? Or will Barcelona's golden generation push them aside again? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the biggest stories from the world of football. See you in the next video.